trying to...
I can't feel my legs.
I know. Oh, hey.
Oh, hi guys.
So we just finished a killer
leg
workout. So we're talking about, well, we're talking, but we're talking about, you know, kind of what to do after the leg workout and stretching and
how we stretch our legs. And I think there's a few different things that I personally do that work for me, stretching my legs out. I find that I have very tight glutes and hip flexors a lot, especially after a good squatting day. I mean, you're working those glutes. It's just lunges, anything like that. So a few things that I personally like to do, and I was talking to Tonya about this, is I like to do a runner's lunge. So I like to get up into this position. I drop my back knee back and I kind of walk that knee back.
Oh, yeah.
And now the knee that's on the ground, I squeeze that glute. Do you feel that stretch of that hip flexor? And then I shift this knee out.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
That feels good.
And then I just hold it there and I just breathe, because the one thing I feel like I find most often with my clients and even friends I'm working and stretching with is that we hold our breath and we fight the stretch.
Yes. Oh, I do that all the time.
I tell people, I'm like,
all the time.
they're sitting there, they're so focused. I'm like, breathe. And they're like, oh. I'm like, just relax. I think maybe it's the intensity of the workout. Sometimes we come off of it and we forget to relax our muscles.
Yeah, totally.
And kind of switch that other leg out to get that even balance. And you might find that one side is more flexible than the other, or one hurts more than the other. And I shift that knee out and I can feel all the way down my hip flexor and then all the way in that hamstring too. Like, it just feels good. So this is good for that front side. Again, I always squeeze the back glute. The knee that's on the ground, I squeeze that glute a little bit just to open it up a little bit more down here. And like I mentioned before, if I'm squatting a lot, sometimes my glutes are really tight. So I'm a big advocate for foam rolling.
Oh, love the foam roll.
I know we did a foam rolling video last time, and you know, I'd like to incorporate this one, the figure 4 stretch, hips up, but butt on the ground. Bring this foot if you can. Oh, here we go, foam roller. All right, so after I do these,
foam roller, huh?
yes, the closer this foot is, the more stretch you'll get. So I have limited range of motion on my right hip, so it limits obviously my stretching range of motion as well. So that's why it's so important to stretch.
One you will feel it. Like,
in
even
the
if
glute.
you're like an everyday, every workout stretcher, you will feel this one.
Yeah.
It always hits that spot.
All right, so raise those hips up, right leg down, left leg. And so, want to see something crazy?
Yeah.
I can bring this one all the way up.
Yeah. This is my bad side.
That's your bad side,
That's
see?
my bad side.
This is my good side. My other leg, my heel will never get that close to my butt. So it doesn't matter, like, that's not the focus though, guys. You don't want to see how close can I get my butt, because if you notice, you can't see it, but my back's arched.
Yeah.
So you definitely want to be able to sit up and really feel it in that hip. Feels good. And always to come out of your stretch, you get in your stretch how you come out of it, right? So you're lifting those hips up, you're slowly releasing that muscle. You know, when you really think about what you're doing when you're stretching, you're lengthening that muscle, the worst thing you can do is just flop out of it, right? It's like when people do a quad stretch and they just drop their leg, and I'm like, well, that's the quickest way to get an injury. So when it comes to that foam roller, what I personally like to do too is I roll my glutes out. I get on here, I kind of get at an angle, and then I just roll. And
That's the good stuff right there.
this one, you know, some people roll their quads out.
I think
I don't feel like I need the quads as much as I need my glutes.
Right. And if you're someone that IT band, if it's really tight, like just because it plagues you, like I'm one like that on my left side, I am plagued by an incredibly tight IT band. So I use the foam roller. It works, but it also hurts a little bit, but it definitely does work. Like you'll notice if
my right side.
There's no gray area with the foam roller.
Listen, you want to be humbled, use a foam roller. And you don't even need a rigid one. Listen, rigid one hurts a little bit more. All you need is a good flat foam roller.
Yeah.
And if you find, and the one thing people sometimes do is they don't realize, you just sit on a point. Like, you feel a pressure point, you sit on it, maybe like 10 seconds, release.
It'll release.
And then you apply that pressure again. So these are some of the stretches that, we like to do post leg day.
Post killer leg day in the heat and the humidity.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about things like bands and stuff for stretching, because that's another good one, especially like my opinion again, like I do like to use the bands, but for people that might maybe be elderly or in a rehabilitative program or have limited range of motion, how the bands can help, because I mean, everybody should be stretching pre-post workout, but especially if you have some sort of injury, or again, you're rehabilitating, you got limited range of motion, you have trouble with balance, you're more senior, they can give you a great stretch without, you know, and reducing potential risk of like hurting yourself or straining yourself, where some of these other moves might be a little bit too advanced or just too much.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, I use bands to fire up my neurons.
Yeah.
So pre-leg day, like you said, I actually foam roll pre-leg day, and I actually use those mini bands to, again, I guess it is in a sense of kind of stretching, but I put them around my knees and I fire up those glutes, because again, like I said in the beginning, you know, it's that I have a lot of tight glute issues. So, you know, if you go into that leg day without waking up the body, you know, waking up those glutes using those mini bands, like you're probably apt for an injury. So I definitely see that as a benefit for cooling down as well. Maybe, you know, a nice finisher, or just, you know, activating that muscle, getting that time under tension, really getting the blood pulling to that muscle to recover it.
Right.
So I definitely see the benefit.
Yeah, even something as simple as, you know, stretching out your hamstrings, like you can't touch your toes, right? So somebody that maybe you stop here, putting a band around the balls of your feet and just using the band to sort of pull and, you know, gradually work your way down. That's, I mean, they're so easily incorporated if, you know, if you're new to working out or if you have a few challenges and issues with range of motion. But ultimately, why, Ashley? Why do we stretch after a workout? Because, like, I will say I'm really, really bad, because I like to get into the gym, do my workout, and get out. And I know I'm walking out to the vehicle, I'm reaching in my bag for my keys, and I should have stretched.
Yes.
So why do we do it?
You know what? I have this conversation very regularly with my clients and my members, that stretching isn't just physical, it's also you're shutting down the nervous system and you're telling it it's time to repair.
And that's something people don't know.
They don't.
The nervous system. A lot of us think nervous system, we think nerves, brain, cognition. We don't really think, well,
repair.
I'm lifting
you know,
dumbbells.
you
What does
just
that have to do with my nervous system.
I mean, you just went from maybe squatting 100 pounds, you know, and what's to tell your body, okay, wake up, let's start squatting 100 pounds, let's go.
Right.
Let's do walking lunges, let's do just some jump squats. Maybe you do sprints after your workout for a good finisher, who knows? But now your body's fired up.
Yes.
You know, if you think about your fight or flight, whatever you have going on, your body is like, all right, I'm ready, let's go.
Yeah.
And now you get in your car and your body's like, I'm ready to go. And it's not like shutting down yet. You have to tell your body. So that's part about stretching, you know, post-workout, is that lengthening of the muscle, saying, oh, okay, we're done, time to repair. Let's slow it down. Let's calm the heart rate down. Let's find our zen. Let's shut down. And now let's start repairing and fix the damage that we did in the gym. And it's not bad damage, it's good damage. That's how we build.
Good. We have to rip and tear to build bigger and stronger. So I was going to say, any of you out there with little kids, if you've ever tried to put them to bed immediately after like a big event, like a party or the circus, or there's some big event where they were running and eating sugar and just all crazy, then you come home and you try to put them to bed, it doesn't work. It's the same at the gym. You've just given your muscles a huge party, you've ripped it, you've torn, you've shredded, and then you just sit and they're like, what do I do? So it's very important. So.
You know, I would even say that, like you, Tonya, sometimes I kick myself for not stretching, and I definitely feel it the next day. But sometimes after a leg day, I just sit.
Yes.
I do. I'll go find the mat at the gym, and you'll see me. Sometimes I just lay there. I'm that weird girl at the gym who's like post leg day. They're like, you were just squatting 100-something pounds, and I'm just sprawled out on the gym mat, and
Good.
It really does.
Next time I see you at LA Fitness doing that, I'll come over and I'll bring you a monster.
Right? Just come over and lay next to me and then be like, how's your leg day?
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thanks for all of that information, Ashley. Hey, listen, for joining us here, we have a free report for you. So if you want to click over here for our 5-minute mini band workout, it's a free report. Just click on that, enter your email. The workout is on its way to you immediately. If you haven't done so already, click over here to subscribe to our channel for thousands more videos just like these ones to have you looking and feeling absolutely fabulous.